All right, welcome. So, going to talk to you about 7 life coaching and cash flow hacks that are going to really blow your mind and really blow up your business, or at least get you started if you haven't started well or you're struggling. So most new coaches are failing not because they don't care, but because they don't have a system. So in this video, I'm going to show you 7 coaching hacks that would have saved me years of trial and error, would have got me earning a heck of a lot faster. And all of this is, real proven, experienced work and a pathway that I'm giving you to show you what most new coaches will take years to figure out. No fluff, all value. So pay attention and stay with me. And if you stay to the end, you're going to get this experience, a special guided activation that I'm going to create custom for whoever's present to help you really embody what you learn and to align with your invincible intelligence within. It's that super conscious hypermind in you that will guide you forward into your divine destiny. This is what makes everything easier. And it's really like getting a turbocharge for success that guides you to be more, do more, and have more with grace and with ease. All right, so here's a big mistake that a lot of coaches make. They keep chasing certifications for confidence, but real confidence comes from actual coaching. You don't need more certifications. You need certainty, and certainty comes from direct experience, making mistakes that you can learn from, getting real results, and a key component to making it all work is actually having a reliable and systematic approach to running your coaching business and getting out there so you can be coaching. That's what I'm going to deliver here. Most coaches don't really have a business. They have this unrealized dream and they're just winging it. And because they're just winging it, that's costing them a lot of money every month. Maybe they don't see that. Maybe they're not spending money directly, but there's opportunity cost, right? That's lost opportunity, money that's not being made every month, not earning 3K to 10K a month or more if you had a coaching commitment with the right system. And a lot of coaches just aren't really totally committed yet. They don't know that. If you ask them consciously, they're going to be like, yeah, I'm totally committed. But if we explore the unconscious, there's a lot of cross commitments that are getting in the way. And that's why I do a lot of work within, because trying to work over yourself when half of you's got the brakes on and the other half of you's trying to accelerate creates a lot of stress. So think about it. Every month that you're not profitable is another month of lost income. So it's time to stop dreaming and stop dabbling and get disciplined and then divinely aligned with that discipline. And when I say divinely aligned, I mean there is a power that will guide you. Coaching is a calling. This isn't just some kind of decision we make one day. We're just going to do coaching. Coaching is something we're called to. It's a serious responsibility and it's a high calling, in my opinion, that gives us the opportunity to serve and to lead from the heart, to guide other people into what they most need, want, are looking for, overcoming their problems and challenges. So maybe you're doing too much right now. Maybe you're giving too much. Maybe you're charging too little. Maybe you're still not getting results. I have been there. I have been working my butt off over the years to be a coach. I've been really committed, nonstop committed. And I've got plenty of passion and positivity, but in the beginning, I had no plan. And I'm going to give you the exact steps to fix this so that you can use these 7 coaching hacks so that you can get clients, get paid, and get results. These are all steps that I guide my coaches through and the tools and the systems that I give them to save them time. It's what works. So let's go. Here's a quick overview. And then we're going to take a deep dive into each one. You're going to want to take notes here because every bit of this is gold. I invite you to comment and share yourself in the comments so that I can support you even further. I'll be able to speak directly now, or even in the replay. If you're watching, feel free to comment. So I'm going to show you first. Here's what it is that we're going to be covering. Number 1, we're going to start strong. Clarity is key before you coach. So if your target is poorly defined, you're not going to be able to hit anything. So many coaches are taking shots in the dark. It wastes time, money, and effort. So I'm going to cover all of the 6 points of starting strong and gaining clarity inside of this part 1 to help you get crystal clear. Number 2 is overcoming the dreaded imposter syndrome. This is a big one with every coach that I'm working with that's new, aspiring to coaching. How do you convince people that you can serve them when you have no proven track record. This one is what's stopping a lot of coaches dead in their tracks time and time again. I'll cover that. Number 3, do not market. Build trust and share transformation. Attracting clients is an art, but more fundamentally, it's a science. And it's a science that new coaches have never learned. And they do almost everything wrong. I know that I did until I had expert mentorship guiding me. Number 4 is design a coaching experience they brag about. New coaches lack experience, so they tend to just wing it session by session. They don't have systems in place to support their clients in between sessions. They lack professional structures that make the coaching experience one that creates radical results, and they don't know what to do to multiply the value there. So I'm going to show you how. And then number 5 is service selling. This is selling without feeling gross or sleazy. This is one of the most feared parts of the coaching business, the selling process. No one wants to be that pushy salesperson. So new coaches end up doing the opposite. They end up avoiding it altogether and they get no clients, or they try to be friendly. They overgive. They don't end up closing deals for one reason or another. I'll cover some of that here. Number 6, multiply your impact with less time. A new, inexperienced coach is throwing away tons of value. They don't have a way to leverage their time. They don't know how to turn their sessions into even more opportunities. I'll cover this and guide you on how shortly. Number 7, the last point that I'm going to cover is coaching from the inside out. This is the most fundamental, but I save it for the last part because this is going to make the biggest difference for you if you start in the right ground. This is, coaching as a way of being. So the inner creates the outer. And few people really understand this. Even fewer know how to apply this understanding successfully. I wish I would have known this sooner, because the minute I started applying this, my life, my business, everything transformed. And not knowing this can cost you years and years of struggle until you learn how to do the work within. I've got this territory like totally mapped out in full detail after 26 years of hardcore research within myself and experience within myself, and then also application and guiding other people through the work within. And I cannot emphasize this enough. This is where you're going to tap into maximum power. It's amazing. All right. So let's dive into a little bit of a promise. So by the end of this training, you're going to walk away with all 7 of those coaching hacks detailed. All right. A lot of value is going to be delivered here. Like I said, take notes, pay attention. It's all going to help you attract clients, help you get paid, help you create real transformation without selling your soul, without chasing people, without burning out. When you have a clear system, you work less and accomplish more. Think about a new coach trying to find their way through. It's like being in a forest, but you have no idea where your destination is, what direction it is, and you don't know the territory. So you could end up spending forever trying to find your way through. That's not the best way to work. You want a system that works and guides you directly to what you need to be focused on. There's enough work to do already when you know what there is to do, let alone trying to figure out what there is to do. Forget about it. It takes forever. I spent over a year and change trying to clamber my way through to coaching until I had a mentor show up in my space, quite fortunately, and give me access to all of his training and tools. I spent a lot of time with him, and he gave me a map of the territory on how to properly reach out, connect with people, market in a way that was not cheesy and sleazy, but was actually connecting and building relationships. I didn't know any of that stuff. I had no idea how to connect. I'm going to share with you some seriously valuable, these are fundamentals, okay? But the fundamentals, like in martial arts, they never get old. Holding a horse stance for a long period of time always develops strength. It's the foundation, it's the ground of your being. Before you can do kicks and punches, you need strong legs. You need to be able to, grab the floor with like firmness, okay, to be balanced and secure. Same thing in coaching. The fundamentals, they never get old. They're always something you want to know and apply. And here you're going to learn a lot of fundamentals, but also like expert strategies and expert systems for operating as a professional coach. So this is for anyone who's aspiring to be a coach, or even if you've been coaching for a while, but you're not getting the results that you know you're capable of. This is for you. I got a lot of coaches that come to me that have been coaches for years, but they've never really made it as a coach. They've never really made the money they wanted to make. They don't really know how. And so I get to work with a lot of these coaches. I mean, they've got certifications up the wazoo, some of them, and they're going for more, but they still don't have a system for generating clients, running their business. It just doesn't work without that. So here's some reasons for you to stay, because at the end, I'm going to give a deep inner activation process that's going to guide you through at the end of everything to help you process everything we've covered, to really turn it into power and to light the path within, to align you with the beingness of coaching. Okay, there's something about just being from within that allows you to flow into action and get the results that you want. So I'll guide you through what I share with a lot of my clients. It's going to really help you digest this whole experience, embody this experience, create breakthroughs where you need it, because you're going to be able to explore your inner space, the inner world. And as I often say, perception precedes performance and production. Your perception is mostly unconscious. How you perceive the world around you, even the coaching business itself, there's a lot of unconscious factors that are getting in your way. I'm going to give you a light to the inside if you hang out with me to the end of this training. All right. So I made this training as a training. So I'm asking you to consider really engaging one way or another. Take notes, drop comments. Your comments are a really great way for you to get more clarity, be more engaged with what it is I'm saying. Even if you're watching the replay, I'm going to ask questions. You can write them out. You're going to learn more and get more value, because it's going to make this training more meaningful for you and your needs. You're going to process this information. If you really want to be successful at coaching, do the work. Okay. Take the notes, drop some comments in here. I'll be able to help you more too if you do so. Also, we're going to breathe a lot. All right. Breathe with me. When I breathe, and I invite you to breathe, breathe. It's going to energize you. It's going to calm you. It's going to allow you to receive more and absorb all of this value that I'm about to share. So let's elevate together. Okay. Also, one last thing about the comments. Your comments help me know how to better serve you. And I wanted to elaborate on that a bit. They let me know where you are, what your challenges are, what you're facing, what you actually need through any questions that you have. So consider writing those down. I'm going to be continuing to produce awesome content. So if you are interested in growing your coaching business, I'm going to be delivering tons of value. I've been paid a lot to share what I'm about to be sharing with you. So you definitely want to listen up. It works. It's going to work for you. And if you do like this and you want to get more, please feel free to subscribe. No obligation here. If you want more content on coaching, personal relationship coaching, performance coaching, transformation, and so much more, spiritual development, this whole channel is dedicated to that. And I'm geared up. I'm set up. I'm ready to deliver through the YouTube portal. So do subscribe if those things appeal to you. And if not, don't subscribe. It's totally okay. All right. Either way, if you like the video, though, do consider liking it. It helps me grow this channel and supports me in doing what I'm doing. I want to support you and give you more value. So let's relax for a moment. Let's take a deep breath together in. And then through the mouth, we're going to let it out. Good. Just follow the breathing with me. Nice and simple. Through the nose in. And then through the mouth out. Good. Nose in again. Mouth out. Nose in one more time and hold at the top. Relax the body. Swallow your saliva. Lips into a pinhole. Slowly exhale. Just allow yourself to relax for a moment. Get present to why you're here, why you got into coaching in the first place, why coaching is important to you. And allow yourself to receive value, to support you. It's okay to be supported. Right now, I'm be supporting with a lot of valuable transformational information. Allow yourself to receive and to grow with it, to process it according to your coaching needs and your business. All right. Let yourself simply be open, be receptive. You don't have to do this alone. It's good to have people, mentors, people that can pave the way for you. That's what I'm showing up for, offering that mentorship through this training from the heart. So let it come through. Allow yourself to digest whatever you need and relax into this business of coaching. All right. So we're going to dive right now into the teaching. You can get fully present here. We're going to focus again on the 7 hacks that actually work when it comes to coaching. All right. I'm going to give you 7 real hacks. And hack number 1 is to start strong. Clarity is key before you coach. We want to start strong. Clarity is key before you coach. And so we want to make sure that you are going in the right direction. So you're going to need a direction. Okay. So I love playing darts. I know what my target is. You can't see it over. I have a dartboard right next to the Buddha over there. I love playing darts. I get to practice getting my eyes, my hand, my arms, and my throwing movements coordinated in such a way that I can hit the bullseye or whatever the target is I'm going for. But I know what my target is. Then, listen, knowing what my target is does not guarantee that I'm going to hit it. Now I need to repeatedly throw those darts and figure out, how do I need to move my body, my hand, particularly in my arm, right? And be positioned. And what do I need to be looking? There's this coordination that has to all happen for that dart to go the way that I want it to go. And there's all these little nuances. Well, coaching is the same. These 7 hacks are really all like 7 targets. And inside of this first hack, I'm going to cover 6 targets that you must know and must get clarity on and must hit. Okay. And because you know the target, you're going to be able to hit it a lot faster. And I've got tools and resources to support you with also that I'm going to share with you that are going to make you hit it even faster. Will blow your mind. Things that took me years can take you only a few hours. All right. So you got to know what your target is. Imagine if we don't know what the target is. How can we get any better? Right? If we don't know where we're going, we don't know what we're trying to hit. There's a lot of areas that coaches, new coaches especially, are lacking clarity around when it comes to their coaching, running their business, and reaching new clients. They don't know what the valuable targets are. So they spend a lot of time going nowhere on targets that don't matter. There's a guy I used to work for years ago, and he told me this interesting statement. It said, proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. He called it the 7 Ps. All right. So proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. But how do you plan if you don't know how to build something yet? Right? Like, it's like telling you to be an architect to build a house, but you've never built a house. You haven't learned the craft. You don't know the trade. There's a lot to know. Okay. Beautiful homes are built with a beautiful plan that's clear, mathematically precise. There's science that goes into it as well as art. A coaching business is science and it is art. Okay. The art is your special flair, your unique, special service, the way of being, your personality, and the things that you love about it, right? But there's the science side of it, the structured parts that you also must know. You're not going to build anything beautiful without it. So proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Here's what you need to know. You're not going to be able to track clients when your mind and your message is muddy. You're going to need these targets. And I also give my coaches the series of preparation worksheets called the Invincible Offer and Influence. It's a bundle basically. And I'll talk more about that in a bit, but it helps them identify these 6 key targets I'm going to talk about right here before they step out to coach. Because honestly, there's no point stepping out if you don't know what you're stepping out for, stepping into. Each one of them requires deeper inspection and clarity, but without knowing these, it's a very hard game to play. I say it's an impossible game to win if you don't know what you're targeting. So here are the 6 keys to create clarity that turn coaching into cash flow. All right. Each of them, like I said, is part of the Invincible Offer and Influence system. It's not the whole system, but these are very critical parts. These are foundational parts that you have to know, and you're going to get a chance to learn more and get access to the full AI prompted version of this in the training here. So be sure to comment right out what you do have clarity on so far, if anything, as we're going. All right. Use single sentences or a few sentences. Do your best to engage let's get into the 6 P's of coaching clarity. Okay, I'm going to cover 6 different dimensions of gaining coaching clarity, or 6 different targets. The first P, the first target, is your passion and your purpose. Okay, these are fundamental. Are you doing what you're fired up about at a core level? That matters. You can't just be taking this on as a passing interest or something that feels good. It has to be a divine desire. It has to be a calling, something that you're called to fulfill no matter what the cost. I don't think a lot of coaches getting into the game of coaching understand this, because it's difficult, it's competitive, it's challenging, right? If you're not called to this, you don't have a driving desire and a deep passion, a God-given calling, it's not going to work for you. You're going to have to really sit with this, right? True passion is not hype. Okay, it's not fleeting either. It's a unique, distinct, calling, purpose, and it transcends mundane desires or just, whimsical dreams and delusions of grandeur, where it's like, I want to be this coach, have the, laptop lifestyle and work on the beach and all of that. I've lived all of that. Okay, but there's a lot of work that goes into having all of that. I say lived because I'm not on the beach right now where I live. So passion and purpose, it's what's going to carry you through all the resistance, and there's plenty, all the rejection, and there's plenty. My coaches will tell you they have struggled. They've gone through so many different things. It's really challenging when they face the struggles that come up. It gets messy when you start moving into the middle. Okay, in the beginning, it's always fun, it's always delightful, it's always pleasurable, but now you got to work. So when things get hard, and they will, passion is rooted in this deeper sense of purpose that keeps you going. There's a reason that the story and the film, The Passion of the Christ, is titled the way it is, because it's not just about this Jesus Christ love, right? It was about the agony, the struggle, the shame, even the death itself that he was willingly enduring to prove a love that is stronger than fear. Because that title, when I saw that title when that movie came out, I was like, Passion of the Christ. I'm like, and it's all about just this crucifixion. It's a horrible scene, but I got it eventually. I was like, oh wow, the passion of the Christ. Like, this passion of this man is like his love for humanity transcended his agony, right? And so that's something that we got to understand, that the people who are really good at what they do, they push through a lot of pain. Great entrepreneurs, successful business owners, it's never been easy for any of the ones that I know. They have gone through so much trial and heartache and hardship. You got to keep pressing through. So passion for the result is going to get you there. What do you love that's on the other side of the difficulty, right? For me, I just love seeing people transformed. All right, you got to get really in touch with that. Maybe you already are. So desire comes and it goes. It's fleeting. Like I said, passion perseveres through anything. Your calling to coach, to serve, to guide others into healing and freedom, it has to matter as much as anything in your life matters, if not more. Okay, you have to be willing to go all the way. Not in a performative way. This has to be in your bones. Purpose is the spiritual fuel that's going to fuel your practice. Okay, it's the reason that your coaching means anything for you. When you're rooted in purpose and you show up differently because of it, you speak with clarity, you coach with presence, your clients are going to feel it. So get in touch with that, meditate on it, get clear. Ask yourself, what fire burns within me that won't go out no matter what? What am I connecting with? What am I pursuing really? What am I willing to go through in order to have the result that I'm seeking? You got to get that clear, because that mentality is going to pull you through when you get into difficult scenarios and situations. All right. So ask yourself that question. Also, what truth must be spoken that maybe no one's speaking, that only you can? What work must be done? Even if no one's clapping, right? Even if no one's celebrating you, will you do it anyway? Okay, that's passion, that's purpose. Me doing this live stream, not having any major viewers and following on YouTube right now, that's passion. This is purpose. I'm doing this for the long haul. I'm doing it for the people who are watching down the road. I know that they're going to be there, and I don't have any immediate rewards for this, right? That's real passion, all right? And that's what also is going to make you powerful. If you know what you're passionate about, go ahead and comment it. Would love to know. Drop it in the comments or write it down for yourself. Either way, let's take a breath in and out. Good. Another breath in and out. Write those questions down. Get clear on what your passion is. All right, the number 2 key and target. All right, the keys that unlock doors, their targets you got to hit is knowing your people. Who are you here to serve specifically? Not a vague demographic, some trendy niche, but you got to think about real people with real lives, with real struggles, real dreams, real desires. Who are the people that you are specifically equipped to serve through your knowledge and through your life experience? Those are the people that you got to get tuned into. What is it that they're looking for that only you can provide? Get clear on the psychographics also, not just their age and gender, but their deeper beliefs, their fears, their insecurities, their problems, which we'll talk about as one of the next targets. What are they secretly hoping is possible for them? You got to know the people that you're aiming to serve well. When you understand them at a deep level, your message becomes magnetic and your offer becomes obvious. It's like, oh, this is the obvious solution for me. But if you don't know them, if you don't speak to them, it doesn't work. Confusion about who you serve is going to be equaling missed connections and then scattered marketing. My mentor and friend, Evan Pagan, said our marketing must be connected to conversation that's already going on inside of our prospects' minds. I love that. Our marketing must be connecting to the conversation already going on inside of our prospects' minds. Think about that. They're already thinking about things, concerned, worried, aspiring to something. There's a language they use. You got to know it. When we speak in a way that shows that we know them, that we understand their problems better than they do, that builds trust. As a new coach, you don't necessarily, need to box yourself in to any particular single niche necessarily, though many people say that you do. It might be too early for you to do that as you've not identified what kind of people you actually can serve and the kind of people who do come to you. But you do still need to define the type of people you're going to serve as best you can and start speaking directly to them. I always have my coaches find a few different niches, a few different areas, right? There are some specific areas. This is a language game and we got to dial into that and then start testing, maybe test a niche out, a particular area and feel how that goes for a little bit. I had a couple clients that were targeting men like that were looking for support dating. That was something that they wanted to do. So they tested that market. They didn't ultimately fully commit to that, but they tried it out for a bit to see how it would go. But it's a more specific area. You might have to do that a few times and you might actually expand. I serve a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. For many years I have, and that's not going to stop. But right now I'm speaking specifically to you, a coach, right? You want to grow your business. I'm speaking to you. These are things that are going to help you for sure, especially if you're new and aspiring or you've been struggling and you want to go to the next level. So who are the people that you are out to serve in a single sentence? How would you describe them? Go ahead and write them down. What's going on in their world? Write that down, comment it if you like. I'd love to see that. Let's get this comment thing moving and coming alive. All right. Feel free to take a moment to do that. And while you're thinking and maybe even writing, let's breathe in together. And then exhale. Good. So the next target that we must be fully aware of is the problems. What specific problems are the ideal clients facing, right? Too many coaches are offering vague transformation, right, without naming the pain, okay? So I know that coaches struggle with a lot of things, a lot of different pain points, and I speak to them here and in my promotions and my marketing. Your client is in the middle of a struggle and they don't really care about the modality or the framework until you name the thing that's keeping them up at night. They want to feel connected with what their concerns are. When you name the pain specifically in language, you become the one who understands them. People pay people who understand them better than they understand themselves. Why do we go to a doctor? Because they apparently know better than we do what the body's doing. Now, that may not always be necessarily the case, but in some instances it is, right? There are many times I've been to the doctor and I've been helped. I needed antibiotics because I was really sick and that's what I needed to get well, and it worked. I didn't have that education. I didn't understand even what I was sick from, right? We go to them because they're specialists. So as a coach, you're a specialist and they want to know that you know what they're going through and that it needs to make sense to them, and then they will invest in you. When I let people know that I create spaces for people to eliminate anxiety, to regulate their nervous system, to lead them to deep inner peace, right? That connects to something very real for those people, something that they want to get rid of, which is what? The anxiety, right? If I say anxiety and inner peace, like there's something I want to get away from, anxiety, inner peace is something they want to have that they don't have. And then I speak more specifically about how to do that, regulate the nervous system, right? I let them know that I am an expert, that I understand the system of the mind, emotions, and the body. I understand how trauma impacts the nervous system, brain, and the body. And I also understand how to guide people to embrace and encounter the subconscious components that are fueling that anxiety so we can eliminate it. Now, you just hear that little blurb that I just gave you, just made up here on the fly, and you already know that I know what I'm talking about to some degree. So I've got your attention if anxiety is a problem that you struggle with. So you got to know how to speak to it. When I present all of this material that I'm presenting here in this training about successful coaching, it makes it clear to a new coach or even seasoned coaches that I know what I'm doing. I know what they're missing. I have something that can help them overcome their problems because I've been doing this for a long time. I'm going to shortcut things. I expose problems that new coaches haven't seen, but that are going to make immediate sense, right? It's going to build trust and a desire to shortcut, to save time, struggle, and, save costs. And that connects with this pathway that I'm providing. And it makes my work a worthy investment for coaches who are hearing what I'm saying. If they connect all the dots and like, man, yeah, I could spend 3 years trying to do all this on my own, or I could work with someone who's professional, right? That's what you do, right? As a coach, you shortcut things for people. You provide solutions. So think about it business-wise or investment-wise. If you put $100 into something that earns you thousands, that's a wise investment, right? If you spend thousands of dollars to start a business, but your business helps you earn hundreds of thousands of dollars, that's great. You know what I mean? Like that's intelligent. Like we want to invest in something that's going to give us a return. As a coach, people want return on their investment. The return on their investment in you as their coach. They're investing in results. So let's do a little exercise for yourself. Comment or write down what problems your people have in a few sentences. Okay, get clear. What are the problems that your people have? You got to do the work. You got to get conscious of these things. You got to get clarity for yourself. What problems do your people have? Get clear. And let's breathe as you're doing that. Nice and deep through the nose. Hold that breath at the top and then slowly exhale. Good. I'm moving fast, but I want to breathe, help us pause, and help us digest. There's a lot to deliver here. So target number 4, product and profit. What are you actually offering? Is it a session, a program, a transformation, a container for change of some sorts, right? How do you language that? Too many coaches don't know how to describe in language what they do in a way that's actually sounding tangible, valuable, trustworthy to their clients. You need to know your offer so well that you can explain it in one sentence or one breath. A confused offer is going to be a lost sale. Clear product equals a clear path to a yes for the prospect. So in my Invincible Offer and Influence sheets, my coaches get ultra clear on what they're offering, how to structure it, and now using special AI prompts, it takes it to a whole new level. It gives them everything printed out in clear, distinct language that speaks to the people that they're trying to reach. There are key questions to answer in it that make up your simple, irresistible, and no-brainer offer. You answer a little bit of questions about your audience, who you're serving, problems, pain points, and so on. There's some detail there. But when you plug all that in, it spits out the language for you. All right. And so it's really powerful when you have some guidance like that and you know what it is that you need to get. Remember, coaching business depends primarily on language, right? We're not selling physical products. When I buy a new desk, I know I'm getting a physical thing. I know what's going to look like, most likely, right? I've seen pictures, etc. In coaching, they're seeing you, and no matter how good looking you are, although that can help sometimes, they're really buying your confidence. They're also buying your understanding of their needs, right? They're buying you as a support to accomplishing their results or to their solution that they're looking for. So what you cannot say in language, you cannot sell. Just be clear about that. All right. So comment what you offer of value in a few sentences, right? What is the value that you offer? Practice, exercise, communicating your value as a coach. And don't forget to breathe with me, nice and deep, through the nose in and mouth out. We've got 2 more P's, 2 more targets to cover, and then we'll move on to hack number 2. This is all hack number 1. So target number 5 in hack number 1 is, when it comes to, getting clarity, is knowing your position. What space do you occupy in your client's mind? Are you a general helper that just, fits into the mass categories of people out there trying to offer service? Or are you seen as the guide for a specific transformation? Positioning is about how you differentiate yourself, speak your client's language, and then show up in a crowded market as the one that they're looking for. It's how you frame your authority without bragging. You just speak to the facts, right? So what I do is I take coaches, new and aspiring coaches, I give them complete systems, done for you systems, to help them have booking calendars, funnels, products, programs, onboarding sessions, coaching portals, everything that a new coach needs, marketing tools, systems, structure, and strategy, everything that a coach needs, all in one bundle, all in one place, and with my coaching and with great people to support them along the way. They're buying into a whole plethora of value, right? It's just a shortcut for coaches to get to where they want to get to. So when I share that a little bit, you start to understand some of the value that I deliver, right? There's so much more I could say about it, but you hear that I languaged it in a way that makes sense. And if that's something that you're looking for, you would be interested in connecting further with me. Whatever type of coaching you do, you want to present it in a way that lands. There are literally thousands of coaches out there offering life coaching or even business coaching, but that's so vague. It doesn't position them in any way as a distinct value center. They don't have a position anywhere. They just kind of blend in and bleed in. They're really belonging to this crowded space that does not speak specifically to what people want and what people need. So when it's done right, your positioning makes you the only obvious choice inside of a sea of sameness. People are all the same. Life coaches are life coaches are life coaches. Okay? Business coaches, business coaches, business coaches. Like, what kind of business coach are you? What kind of life coach are you? I say that I'm trauma informed. Okay, but that's getting overused. There's a lot of trauma informed coaches out there. Okay, what does that mean? Better to speak more specifically to the types of trauma. Maybe you deal with sexual abuse and you support people in creating a future where they've been stuck in the past as a coach, because that's where you've been. And, as coaches, we're leading people into new futures. We're guiding people to open up new futures for themselves. Maybe they got to get complete with some of the past, so be it. Maybe they need some therapy too, so be it. But as a coach, we're creating new futures with people, inviting them to develop new results. You got to find a way to language that. So comment what makes you stand out from the crowd in a few sentences, or write it down. What makes you unique? Why should people come to you? What is it that you alone have that nobody else does, or very few people do, that makes you stand out and valuable to them? All right, write that out. Let's take a breath in together through the nose and through the mouth out. Good. Last target I'm going to cover inside of the first hack. All right, this is for getting clarity. The last target is your promotion, and it's like your promotion channels. How are you putting yourself in front of the people who need you? Very important. This is where a lot of coaches get super stuck, trying way too many things, not very clear, don't know exactly how to use the promotional channels they're on. Are you posting randomly and hoping that clients just show up? That's not a strategy. That's actually self-sabotage. You need a consistent rhythm and a system of sharing value, storytelling, engaging with people, and sending out invitations that match your energy and your mission that people can feel. All right. Promotion is not about being pushy. It's about really being present. It's also about being relevant to the people that you're here to help. But not being pushy doesn't mean that you're not actively outreaching or networking, right? You've got to build relationships. It's the way that you reach out, it's the way that you connect to people that matters and will be effective or ineffective, okay? So some people just shy away from that altogether because they don't want to be that person who's messaging people or, starting a conversation with somebody and feels salesy. Well, that's because you don't know how to connect with people in a meaningful way. So that's something that I help my coaches do and develop. And there's a lot of tools for that, practices. And of course, we do that together in our community so that we get to learn how to connect with each other in meaningful ways. Very few coaches have any idea how to actually do this effectively when they're starting. And how could you? You've never been taught this. So don't be hard on yourself. Don't punish yourself and shame yourself, okay? These are all things that we have to learn. There's a steep learning curve when it comes to coaching. It can be shortcutted if you have the right support, the right systems. It's good to have coaching to support you. I provide that because I want to shortcut it for coaches. Whether it's with me or somebody else, you really want to find someone to help you save the time and the heartache and work on the things that matter most. I've been successful at building relationships and many new people that I've actually reached out to randomly, like just cold connections, right? Messaging, starting a conversation, whatever, just building a connection on the fly have really, it's blessed them for me doing that. They've praised me because of it, because of the way that I'm connecting with them. I am showing that I care. I am really interested in getting to know another person, and I'm opening up a space for them to share themselves with me and to build enrichment in the relationship, okay? So when your promotion is aligned, when it's authentic, when it's consistent, clients show up. In the beginning, as a new coach, you're not very consistent. You're trying a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You don't really have any grooved like energy patterns, and that can be felt. People feel that, and they're not really interested in buying from people who don't sound confident, clear, right, committed, right? Or they're just promoting this thing, promoting that thing. It's like, they have to have consistency. So clients are not buying coaching from you anyway. They're buying clarity, they're buying confidence, and ultimately they're buying a solution. Winging it as a coach burns up energy, costs you money, time. Planning builds certainty, okay? There is a science to the game of success. If you don't know it, you just don't win. It's just that simple, all right? Now, clarity isn't just for you. It's how your clients recognize you as the one they've been looking for. So you're gaining clarity through these 6 different targets that you got to hit. You got to hit these targets. You got to know what your purpose and passion is. You got to know who your people are. You got to know what problems you help people solve. You got to know what your position is. You got to know what people are really looking for, how you're going to promote, and where you're going to find them. All of that has to be super clear. You got to have those targets. So if you want to get more clarity, pause for a minute and breathe with me, because breathing creates a lot of clarity. Nose in, mouth out. Why do I say breathe for more clarity? Let's breathe again. Nose in, mouth out. Good. Because breathing deeply clears the mind. When your mind is clear, you can see more clearly. When your mind is frantic and noisy and busy, you're not going to be able to see as clearly. All right. So as I said, clarity is not just for you, it's for how your clients will recognize you as the one that they've been looking for. So that was all just hack number 1. Starting strong, clarity is key before you coach. That was the biggest one to cover here. There's a lot there. There were 6 targets, 6 different P's, and all of them are important targets that you need clarity on and need to be hitting on a regular basis. Okay. And it's okay to fail forward. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to make mistakes along the way. Those are all learning opportunities. They're really blessings in disguise. The more action you take, the better, but it's better to take strategic action, especially when you have proper guidance. So I gave you 6 key targets. Focus on them. All right. If you want help with all of that and more, I'm going to present to you an opportunity to get access to my Invincible Offer and Influence training system. It's going to do so much for you. It's AI prompted. It's super simple. You do a few question and answer things at the beginning, and then it prints out everything that you need. Okay. I'm making it available during this training for you. If you want to go deeper with that, I'll tell you more about it. I'll show you a little bit about it. And this is now going to jump into a whole new level. Okay. We're completing hack number 1, right? Which is starting strong, getting that clarity. And feel free to comment anything that's there for you, any questions that you have, any concerns also, right? Those are the 6 key targets that you must hit. Number 2 hack. It's a big one. All right. Let's take another breath in. Let it out. A little bit of water there for me. Let's go into number 2, overcoming the dreaded imposter syndrome. So this is a big one. Market research will make you a mirror and not a megaphone. Okay. We want to be a mirror. And so to overcome the dreaded imposter syndrome, you don't want to try to step out and be an expert that you're not. Imposter syndrome is brutal for new coaches. It just hurts because it stops them in their tracks. You start second guessing your value. You start looking around and thinking, who am I to coach anyone when I'm still figuring out how to be a coach myself? This is a hurdle that we all have to get over. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to do that beautifully, powerfully. But when you're in this imposter syndrome, here's what's happening. You're hesitating to post. You're avoiding making offers. You're avoiding putting yourself out there. You're secretly hoping that, someone's going to just ask to work with you so that you don't have to, make yourself available or look like a salesperson. And I've run into this so many times. There's this fear of rejection because of not being perfect, not having it all worked out. So sometimes I find coaches saying things like, I don't have enough certifications, I'm not qualified enough yet, or I have not had enough paying clients, no one's going to trust me, or what if I can't get real results? Then they're going to be disappointed, and that's going to be hurtful, to them and then to me. What if I'm just repeating what other people are saying, right? They don't want to just sound like everybody else coaching out there, and all of that's fair and valid, but there is a way to overcome, but this inner dialogue within you, it's going to lead to self-sabotage. It's going to cause you to shrink back. You're going to be inconsistent in your visibility. You may be less experienced, but more confident coaches keep showing up and they do end up signing clients. Okay. So let's take a shift for a minute. Imposter syndrome thrives in isolation. Okay. Right. That's where it's going to be growing. It's going to be building up inside of your mind. You're going to be second guessing yourself continuously, comparing yourself and all of these things, right? It also thrives in assumption. You don't want to just assume anything. But where we overcome imposter syndrome, where it's going to die, is through connection and through clarity. And that's what new coaches don't have. They don't have connection and clarity, or clarity and connection. So step 1, I covered, or hack 1, I covered clarity, and connection is where we're going to go right now. So I have my coaches start by surveying the audience. This is the biggest thing that got me successful as a coach in the beginning. Learned from my mentor, Evan Pagan. He had a little program on surveying. I forget what it was called. I don't even know if the word survey was in it, but it basically was about asking people to help you develop your offer, your product, your program, your service, and also to give you information about what they really need. So that's what I did. And I developed a program called Awaken the Teacher Within, which was to help coaches, leaders, healers, teachers get online and build courses, because I had experience doing this and I knew a lot of them wanted to do it, but they didn't know how to do it. How did I know a lot of them wanted to do it? Because I started asking. I was in digital marketing, building sales funnels for a big company, project managing for that company. And so what we were doing on a big scale was very expensive for most people, but I knew there was a way to do this simpler, leaner. I figured there was probably a need out there, but I started asking questions. Once I asked questions, I got confirmation. That confirmation gave me confidence. All right. And that reaching out and asking questions, posting on social, talking to people, presenting at events, asking people, doing surveys at events, like literally from a microphone, asking people inside of a group of people or a large event, if they wanted to come talk to me, tell me what they're struggling with. I got all of these answers and I was able to develop a product that served real people. So you start by surveying your audience. You ask people, real questions about what they're struggling with, what they want, what's keeping them stuck. That's going to give you confidence when their answers match up with what you could serve them with. It also starts building a relationship without you trying to sell them. So then you take the exact words that they're giving you and you build your message from what they're saying, right? Their exact language, not from guessing, not by just making it up. When you do this, your content becomes a mirror that reflects what they're actually thinking, what they're actually feeling, what they're struggling with. It's a great way to go. So they're not looking for you to be perfect. You're only asking questions. You're doing research. You're not presenting yourself as an expert. That's how you overcome this imposter syndrome. Because imposter syndrome is like, I'm supposed to present myself as this perfect expert coach, but you're not. And so that's a delusion. You don't need to be an expert coach, because how can you just go from no experience to expert overnight? That's unrealistic. But we get trapped in that conundrum, and it's like we think we need to be, and then we make no progress. So you don't need to be perfect, because they don't need you to be perfect. They need to feel seen. And by asking questions, you're connecting with them. You're getting real answers. You're understanding what's going on in their world. And that's giving you an opportunity to get to know what people are actually looking for and how you can deliver that. And so that's going to help you in the long run. Not everyone is your client, and you're going to find that out. But the ones who are, they need to hear themselves in your voice, right? When you speak, they're like, yep, that person's speaking to my problems, my pain, my challenges. So think about this. It's not about proving yourself. Okay? That's where we get stuck in imposter syndrome. It's about knowing your people. Okay? And so a lot of that work can be done through the Invincible Offer and Influence worksheets that I mentioned, that whole system and training that I have. It really helps clarify a lot. But survey selling, going out into the audience, talking to them, finding out what they need, asking those questions, posting in groups, those types of things, starting conversations, just getting interested in people at the beginning. Yeah, you're not going to be marketing and selling right away. Okay. But you can forget about that. You're not going to just start selling immediately overnight. You need to build relationships. That's why I said you need passion at the beginning of this coaching game. You need a divine calling and a purpose, because it's not a get rich quick scheme. This is not about making tons of money really fast. If you want to do that, you're in the wrong business. Okay. You can make money as a coach, and it's very fulfilling and rewarding because you get to do something that creates massive value for people. It's just the way you play the game matters, and you got to know how to play it correctly. And you got to be willing to pay the price. Like anything, you got to pay a price for it, and you got to take the time and do your due diligence. So are you struggling with imposter syndrome now? If you are, you can comment. Does what I'm saying here make sense and help you? Comment that, but take the action, all right, that I'm telling you to take. It's definitely going to get you moving forward to confidence within yourself, and it's going to help minimize fear. Asking questions, connect with people. Let's take a breath into that. Sighing it out. Just good. Let it all out. Take a nose breath in and out. Good. All right. Feels so good to breathe with you. I'm so excited. We're going to move into hack number 3, which is don't market, but build trust and share transformation. All right. Don't market, build trust, share information, transformation. So value in this case equals visibility, which will equal vibes. Being visible equals vibes. You don't want to be pitching people. You want to teach. You want to inform. You want to ultimately transform. Okay, people value information, but they value transformation even more. All right, so start sharing powerfully, effectively. Drop little micro wins. Share breakthroughs with people. Give them experiences of that. Be consistent. Relationships with others are going to close the gap. And people like being related to people that make difference for them, that enrich their lives. Consistency in this area is going to build momentum. When you reach out to build connections. All right. Build an enriching relationship with people. Show them that they matter. There's that famous saying that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. But just saying I care about you is not the same thing as giving them an experience where they feel cared for. I hope through this training that I've put together that you're hearing value for yourself, that it's making a difference for you. I'm committed to just delivering real value, and that we're going to transform through this, that your mind is going to be opened and you're going to have clarity and direction that you didn't have otherwise. That's a transformation. Okay. That's a brand new you coming out of this training. You come into this training not knowing a bunch of this stuff, not knowing what to do, where to go, and you're going to leave this training knowing what to do. That's going to happen for anybody who makes it through all of this training video. You're going to have that transformation take place. And I'm delivering that at no cost to you through YouTube, right? And that's going to help you immensely. And that's going to help build trust and connection. And maybe a percentage of people who see this and go through this will decide that they want to go deeper. And that's great. But you got to be willing to cast your seed out there if you want it to grow and you want to produce fruit. All right. So coaches who consistently give value are remembered when the pain gets real. So, hey, maybe I've got clients, I'll tell you real stories, man, clients that have followed me for a few years that I didn't even know were following me. Okay. Some people watched me for years, and then one day they reach out and they're like, I've been following your videos for years. And, I really want to work with you. I was like, wow, who are you? Like, I don't even remember seeing a like or a comment or anything, but they were paying attention to what? My value delivered. Experiences, transformation, live stream videos, recorded videos, written content. They were seeing all of that, and it built a sense of trust, likability. They knew who I was. I was consistent. I've got years and years of doing this. I said passion matters, because you're going to have to be persistent. And without passion, persistency isn't going to be there. You're going to run into a problem and you're going to chase the next best feel-good thing. Okay, listen, building a business can be painful at times. Sorry to break the news to you. I ain't going to sell fluff to you. A lot of, people out there are trying to sell you by presenting everything as easy. It's not all easy. There are shortcuts that we can give you, and there's still hard work even with the shortcuts. Okay. So there's just no getting around being a disciplined individual and a committed individual. Eventually any human being is going to figure that out. So how are you building trust? By sharing value right now. You want to comment that or write it down? Think about it. How will you build trust? By sharing some value now. All right. Take a deep breath with me in and out. Good. So now we're going to go on to number 4. This hack is design a coaching experience that they brag about. Okay. We'll talk about this. This is more of like an expert level, like been coaching for a while, but it's good for you to know that going into the game, right? If you're a new and aspiring coach, you definitely want to understand how this works. So elevate perceived value with your coaching container. And here's how I'm going to show you to do this. You're going to set up a simple coaching portal. You can use welcome forms. You can create a space where they can track their goals. This could be in a document, right? Just a Google Doc or something simple. There's more complex ways. There's tools, there's apps. Give your clients an experience, not just a session. Give them some value right when they come in. When my clients, come on board now, when I don't do a lot of one-to-one coaching right now, but when I do, I'm providing them with a specific coaching portal that guides them through the process where we keep all of our work. In fact, you know what? I have a shot of that. I think I'll bring that up for you so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Yeah. So this is what my clients get right now. This Invincible Coaching Client Portal. This is just my master template, right? I'll duplicate this. The page goes further down. I just took a screenshot. I remembered I put this in here so I could show you something visibly. Now you can do this in many different ways. Now this has like click through, to start here. There's whole onboarding steps, the contract review so that they have that in place. There's an intake process where they answer questions immediately, right? So they sign up for coaching, but our coaching call, let's say, is not till next week, something of that nature. Maybe it's, a few days, whatever, but either way, I'm giving them something immediately to do that makes them feel like they've got value. They invested money in me, they made their payment, signed a contract. Now they got something immediately to handle. There's also an onboarding course that my coaches, when they sell their clients, either into their small groups or into their one-to-one coaching, that immediately, as soon as the client pays for the session or they enter the small group, they get access to a small onboarding training in a course area, which is like instant value, right? They're not waiting for that week's group to start. They're not waiting for their coaching session. They have immediate value happening right there. So structure for a client is going to equal safety. And safety is what opens the door to transformation and progress. And also they're perceiving you as valuable and as professional. It also gives them something to take action on, right? Like the onboarding process gives you credibility then, right? Oh, wow, this person's really prepared, right? Like they didn't expect that maybe. Maybe you talked to them about it. Maybe that helps you sell them in, right? And it can be another sales positioning tool, by the way, is having that coaching portal. Like, look, as soon as you jump on board, I'm going to send you this thing and you're going to have this opportunity to get more clarity, to get started, and you're going to be ready for our next session. So that's going to be very powerful. They're going to be more likely to refer you to other people if they feel well served. And this is one of those tools that makes that happen. So people talk about what feels professional, what's been powerful, deeply personal, or very transformative, right? People just naturally talk about that. So I have clients that create posts and rave about the work that they've been, getting done, or, they're just producing their breakthrough, comments when it's really opening them up because they're experiencing something that they have never experienced before, and they're getting focused. I had one client recently, sending some praises into the Slack channel, just saying, just do what Vince is saying to do, because I gave a clear game plan for all the coaches to follow. And they finally, committed to going step by step through that and realizing it does make the difference. And here's the thing about getting into coaching. Oftentimes we get into coaching because we think we want to be free. We want to have our own business so we can do whatever we want. But you see, any business you operate is going to be a discipline and require commitment. It's like you got to get married to the game. And so our mind tends to want to bounce from any kind of commitment. And, that means following specific steps and structures even. So we got to discipline that. But when you do, it matters, right? It makes a difference for you, and your clients are going to feel that you are committed. And you have to get disciplined in this way. You have to have these tools and these steps, these processes. You got to know what your targets are to be able to deliver value. So what are your clients saying when they sign up with you, or what will they say? What do you want your client to say when they sign up with you? Think about that. Write that down. How would you like them to feel? What would you like their experience to be the minute they drop money, right? And they're like, here's their down payment, their first month or whatever it is. Maybe they're paying in full. What are they getting to let them know that there's immediate value, that you've got your stuff together? Think about that. All right. And if it's nothing, start thinking about what you can give. And let's breathe. Good. And out through the mouth. So good. Breathe in again, one more time. And out the mouth. Sighing and out can be really good. You start vibrating around the thymus gland. That just starts to help regulate the nervous system, right? You feel it around your heart and the chest area. It's a really good feeling. Don't be afraid to make noises when you breathe out and sigh. It's so good. Let's go into number 5. This is hack number 5, service selling. Not survey selling, but service selling. This is where you're selling without feeling sleazy or selling without feeling gross. All right. This is really important because a lot of coaches, they get stuck because they don't want to be that person because they've run it to salespeople. In fact, 20 minutes prior to this call, I had some salesperson give me a call. I think it was like a survey person, like seriously, who are you? Where are you calling from? Like, I have no connection to your company. It's like, why are you calling me? It's like, when we have those experiences and we're like, we get icky, then, there's that famous saying, what Jesus said, right? Whatever measure you use will be used against you. So it's like when I judge that person, then in my own mind, I have this judgment about being a sleazy salesperson. If I've run into a sleazy salesperson, I don't want to be that sleazy salesperson. And so that traps us in a sense, but it's okay. We can use that to our advantage because we don't want to be a sleazy salesperson. Sales is not about pressuring people, right? You're asking questions that reveal their desires. You're not just giving them info, highlighting the features and the benefits of your program, right? You're digging in. And I keep trying to emphasize this as much as I can to everyone that I work with or can get my voice to, because there's nothing, this is what changed the game for me. Eben Pagan was the one who taught me this. I learned from him, and it made all the difference. So sales is not about pressure. It's not about coercion. It's not about forcing. There's no manipulation, especially if you're a coach, completely inauthentic. Right? It's about delivering real value as a coach, right? You're about serving people, empowering people, enriching people. You got to operate in the utmost integrity. If you're going to call yourself a coach, there's a lot of coaches out there doing the money thing, trying to help other coaches make money, and there's just no integrity, right? Taking $10,000, chunks of cash and providing like literally nothing. I've seen that many times over. All right. Coaching is about delivering real transformative value. And when you're presenting yourself or promoting or sharing yourself and offering opportunities through sales, it's not through pressure. It's about working with the perception of the individual and getting permission, right? And creating permission for them to look within, permission for them to identify their concerns, permission for them to identify what their values are, what their challenges are, things that they may have never gotten in touch with before, because no one's really maybe given them the space. No one's really as interested in them. You need to be more interested in them than anyone else has ever been. Your sales process should look like deep interest, a desire to connect, a desire to help them get clarity, to get deeper within themselves. It's also permission for them to be seen and to be heard deeply. Okay? You got to listen. Create a space where they hear their own truth, spoken and received. Help them see what's possible. Also help them see what's in the way. Let them know that you understand them when they share, right? Communicate back to them that you understand, that you got it, and also take them deeper. Is there anything else? Is there more, right? What else is there? I have a whole process, this consultation system that I developed, inspired through Eben Pagan's, training years ago for me. Like he had like 5 or 6 questions, and mine have like 8 or 9 in there now. And I've, elaborated deeply on the why each question matters, because I wanted people, I was using these so much, and I got a firm understanding that when I'm on a call with someone that's entrusting themselves with me, I'm there to discover, and I'm there to help them discover most of all. The more they can discover about what's important to them or what challenges they're facing, the better. Then I'm also inviting them to the possibility of a breakthrough. Breakthroughs begin at the perceptive level. How they perceive their situation is like a problem. Oh, I can't, there's no possibility, no hope, I'm stuck, or I just don't see a way through. That's their perception. It's not the truth, but that's where they're locked up. So I create discovery and breakthrough calls, because first we discover together, help them discover, and I'm discovering with them because I got to get to know them. Then I create a breakthrough right there. I help them transform their perception right on the spot, see possibilities. That's a powerful call. That builds value. That gets sales. All that's like a demo coaching session. It invites them into something real right away. And it presents like super real value. So when you coach inside the sales conversation, it becomes a breakthrough opportunity. It builds value. So where are you when it comes to sales? How do you feel about it? Where do you get stuck with it? Comment, write it down, ask any questions that you have. I'll come back and answer questions. If you're watching a replay, don't worry. I'll definitely be able to see the comments eventually. And I don't have a big following, a lot of people commenting right now, or maybe at this point I do. I'm sure I will eventually, but I'm brand new here and I want to be able to get back to as many people as possible. So take advantage of that time. Ask whatever questions you have. And let's breathe before we go on to number 6. Take a deep breath in. Through the mouth out. Beautiful. Love the breath. Feeling so good. All right, so now we're going to go into number 6. Multiply your impact. Multiply your impact with less time. Beautiful. So you want to leverage every session as a seed for growth. Think of every session as a seed. Okay, you're developing a seed. What is a seed for? To continue the life of the organism, right? Seeds of a tree help more trees grow, right? All seeds of all fruits cause more of those plants or trees to grow. You want to leverage every session as a seed for your growth and for their growth. So you want to turn insights into content, right? Breakthroughs that you create with your clients, that's great content material. You want to start writing about that. You don't have to think up new content every day, every week. When you're working with people, even if you're having a prospecting call, right? Doing a discovery and breakthrough session, and even if they don't become a client, challenges, pain points, things that they share, problems that they're going through, those are things that lots of people are going through. You can whip that up into a beautiful piece of content. You can also turn your breakthroughs that you're creating with clients into invitations to have more opportunity to work with you, right? For other people, you can turn that into content that invites people in. Also, you want to be sure that you're offering next steps to your client every week, right? Next steps, like what are they going to do this week? Assignments, some homework, something they can research or look into deeper, build more value for them. And then when you are wrapping up as a coaching, set of sessions that's complete, you want to invite them to your groups, to your workshops, and also ask for referrals. Do they know anybody that needs support like this that will benefit from the type of coaching that you're offering? So you want to think about that, right? Those coaching sessions are seeds that you can develop to grow more opportunity. Don't start over every time. Let the momentum that you've built up work for you. Turn it into content, that session. Turn your prospecting or consultation or discovery and breakthrough calls into content, into opportunities to connect with more people that are, dealing with the same challenges, struggles. Create next steps for your client. Create next steps, even if they're not going to work with you, create next steps for them, right? Point them in a good, healthy direction. That builds value, makes you somebody that they'll remember. Maybe they're not ready to work with you, but maybe they know somebody who is. And then ask for referrals with your coaching clients. They're going to know people. If they love what you're doing, they're going to want to share that with other people and help other people get that. So, ask them, do you know anybody? Right? These are things that you can do to create more leverage and build more value out of your sessions. All right. Your best client is also your next client and your next piece of content. So think about that. Like, you got to build a system for leveraging your sessions and the work that you're doing, even your prospecting conversations. You can leverage all of that, turn it into even more value. It's a wonderful thing. If you're recording your prospecting sessions or your coaching sessions, okay, you don't want to break a confidentiality agreement with your clients, but I record my sessions for my clients so that they get the opportunity to review that, plus the transcript, etc. But if you record the session in a certain way that there's times when you're sharing non-personal data, that non-personal data can be converted by, virtual assistant or some team, that can actually cut those videos up into bits and pieces that you can share on social media, right? The parts where you're delivering real value that doesn't share any personal confidential information. You can do that yourself, right? And ideally you do it right after a session. And I used to do that incessantly. I haven't recently because I've been super busy with different things and managing an entire coaching group. But when I was doing one-to-one coaching on a regular basis, after I was done with that session, I was chopping up video. I was looking back at what I did. I was taking the processes that I would create and deliver, the activations that I designed, and I was specifically cutting those out, and I turned those into entire albums. I got 2 years worth of albums, and a third year started doing that with coaching sessions. All right. So there's a lot more I could say about leveraging, but let's take a breath in and get to number 7. And out. Good. Breathe in and breathe out. Fantastic. All right. We're going to go on to hack number 7. It's good for me to share all of this. I'm excited because all this has been just a reminder of all the things I've been doing. We're going to go into number 7, one of the most important, foundational, coaching from the inside out. It's a way of being. Beautiful. So let's dive in to hack number 7, coaching from the inside out. It's a way of being. You cannot lead others where you have not gone. Think about that for a minute. How are you going to take somebody someplace you haven't been? How are you going to open up somebody to something you're not even opened up to? You just won't be able to do it. You can't lead others where you have not gone. Let that sink in. Now that can kind of put us in a little bind but it doesn't have to. Remember, you're always a step ahead of somebody. Always. Even a kindergartner is a step ahead of a preschooler. Okay. That's something I always tell my new coaches. You're always going to be somewhere in this middle zone where there's people who have less knowing than you, less experience than you. And then above you, there's always going to be people that are way smarter and better and more accomplished. Okay. That's probably never going to change. It's always going to be there no matter what. And so understanding that and accepting that helps you. Now, coaching is not a strategy only. It's not a set of skills. It's a way of being. Being, to clarify it, is what you are at your core. It's a space that you operate from that permits or denies what may be in the space that you are. Okay? You are a context. Being is a context. Context is the space that allows content. Okay? Content is the stuff, the things, the objects. A rainforest is a context. And inside of a rainforest, there's rainforest content, specific trees and plants and animals. And there's like a whole ecosystem and weather patterns, right? The rainforest is that context. Okay. And what shows up in it? Content. As a coach, you are a context. If you're not spacious enough, or your being is constrained, your capacity to attract your clients is constrained, then your ability to provide breakthroughs is going to be limited and constrained as well. Your clients are hiring your presence. They're not just hiring a process. Have you been through the process and created the results within yourself and become the presence that they're looking for? Are you the space for healing, transformation, and empowerment? For me, I've gone through so much deep work. I had people showing up in my space when I turned my life around from a drug dealing criminal, gangster, right, and drug user to someone who was just wanting a new life as I was healing and transforming and reshaping my mind, my emotions, my body, my desires, my values, the way I spoke. As I became this new person, people were showing up to me from my old way of life, and they were looking for a way out. They saw that I had made a change. They saw that I was now someone new. I was a new space. New things were happening, and they wanted that themselves. Being a coach is like that. The breakthroughs you've created personally become opportunities for you to share with others. Have you done the work within? Doing the work within is critical. Your clients are looking for a presence and a space that they can explore themselves in, feel safe in. They know that you've been there before. Most of the things people want, need out there are not coming by just going out there to get it. It's coming from the transformation and the shift inwardly that needs to be made, right? They need to make the shift within. And the shift within, the perceptual shift, thoughts, emotions, feelings, allows their behavior to shift. Their whole identity shifts, they behave differently. And if we behave differently, we've got different results. So that's important. Doing the work within, clearing the fear, and then embodying what we teach. Okay? That happens through the work within. When you shift internally, you become magnetic externally. And your clients can then shift quite naturally with you. You don't have to force it. So you're doing this work as a coach, but who are you at your core? What's your identity actually, fundamentally? Are you a person who's free? Are you a person that is powerful? That's not just trying to be, but really knows it through and through? Have you been able to face your pain and your fear and your inner troubles? Have you broken through your own limiting perceptions? Who you're being fundamentally matters. Do you feel any inner limits within yourself right now? What are they? What will create more space? What's going to allow you to relax into deeper being? Comment if you like. Write it down. Meditate on it. Whatever you need to do. Breathe in. Let's take a few moments to expand our being together. And I'm going to deliver this guided activation now to wrap this all up, which will help you reflect on and absorb everything that we've covered so far. So let's breathe in. I hope you're settled and comfortable, nice and deep. Hold that breath for a moment. Relax, exhale. Good. Let's take another breath in. Relax, exhale through the mouth. Good. In again. Exhale. Take one big breath in and hold through the nose. Hold it at the top. Relax the body, swallow. Keep holding, feel the saliva run to the belly. Lips into a pinhole, slowly exhale. Good. And just welcome the spaciousness within. Let's take a moment to relax and be. For a few moments, there's nothing that you need to do. Do your best to relax into the body. Welcome the feelings, sensations, any impulses that you feel. Make room for them. There's nothing to resist. You don't need to force yourself to relax. You can welcome anything that's moving in your mind, your emotions, your body. Have it the way it is. It's okay. Feel into the heart space. Can you allow some more space to open up within the chest? Can you let your chest soften a little bit more down through your belly? Can all of that relax a little bit more? What does it feel like to open, to receive, to welcome? Whatever's present. And enjoy this activation. I'm going to take you through a little guided process to help activate each one of these 7 hacks for yourself. You'll get to explore them a little deeper, digest them a little bit more. So listen in, see what shows up for you. This can be a very powerful and empowering moment. Remember, there's an intelligence within you that will guide you and direct you. Let my words just be supportive of you developing your awareness around coaching successfully. And let's review. Number 1, starting strong. Clarity is key before you coach. Yeah, what are you clear about when it comes to coaching? The people you're serving, the problems that they have, how you're positioning yourself. Let your supermind, this inner intelligence, give you more clarity. It's about relaxing and letting the answers come. It's not about trying to get the answers. This is about being open and receptive to a deeper intelligence, to the divine destiny. Let the impulse of life within and the intelligence of life within you guide you to clarity. Can you simply be open to more clarity, having access to the insights that are going to get you connected with the right people, know their problems, have your passion fired up and really ready? Just be open to that, what you're passionate about. You're letting this power within you support you, guide you, and direct you. Let's take a breath in, mouth out. And number 2, overcoming that imposter syndrome. Have you felt like an imposter? Be honest with yourself. The more truthful you are with you, the more you'll be able to relax. You'll begin to feel safe. Notice if there's been any resistance, you haven't felt like you're good enough yet or expert enough yet. Gently welcome those parts of you. Love them, allow them to be here, to be felt, to be seen. It's okay, you're not alone. I struggled with that many times over in different ways. Many other new coaches do. Can you be compassionate with that part of you and be open to this new way of serving and connecting with people, asking questions, not needing to be an expert, but being someone who's interested, a researcher? Good. Take a breath in and out. And then number 3, don't market. You want to build trust and share. And transformation. Don't market, build trust and share transformation. So welcome that, feel that. What's there for you? How are you building trust, creating transformation? You're not trying to coerce anybody. Just let that idea go. You don't need to be persuasive in a forceful way. But you do need to share transformation. You can deliver value, build trust. Remember, you're not necessarily looking for specific answers here. I'm inviting you to just feel into the possibility. Feel into the possibility of building trust, sharing transformation, creating real value. Let your body just feel that. Feeling is the secret to success. When your feelings are congruent and aligned, you're going to act more powerfully. And the unconscious supermind within you, it will start to show you the way. There is a divine intelligence. God's provision can come through when you're relaxed and you're open and when you're receptive. And number 4, you want to design a coaching experience that they brag about. Design a coaching experience that they brag about. So you want to design that coaching experience that they brag about and really understand that process. Just welcome and open yourself to it. There is that coaching portal that I showed you. You can create your own. You can give them an experience of value right away when they come in. Right now, again, just be open and receptive to all of this working for you. Right now, you don't even have to figure it all out. I'm inviting you to relax and be ready and available for the wisdom. The insight will come. You'll know how to serve in that container, provide a structure that makes sense for them and for you and feels good and feels professional. Good. Good. And then we're going to move into number 5. Take a deep breath in. Good. And out. Service selling. Service selling without feeling gross. What does it feel like to connect well with prospects on a prospecting call, consultation call, discover and breakthrough call? What does it feel like to ask questions, help them gain clarity? Can you see yourself in this way? Creating a deep experience for them where they're identifying their challenges, their pain points, their desires, their goals, their dreams, their values. And you're understanding them. And that's giving confidence to you as they share their problems. You know that you can solve them with them together because you've been there, done that. You have tools, resources, abilities. What does all that feel like? Imagine the sales process is actually really a serving opportunity that they enjoy and feel good about and you feel good about. Let that be the case for you. Imagine and feel that in your body. Good. Take a deep breath in and out. And then hack number 6, we talked about multiplying your impact with less time. Let's process and digest what I covered there, right? It's about turning your prospecting calls, conversations, your discovery breakthrough calls into content, your coaching sessions into content. There's different ways you can do that. You can take some notes while you're coaching, right? You can use that as value, right? Even if it's a prospecting call, even if they don't become a client, there's a lot that you're learning right there, right? Let that stimulate your next content idea so that you know that you're speaking more to people like you've been talking to. And you know you're using language that the people that you're talking to is using, right? Multiply your impact with less time. How does that feel to multiply your impact with less time? Maybe you turn your coaching calls, conversations, some parts of that into short videos, teaching points, depending on what you're sharing in your coaching sessions. There's a lot of opportunity here. Asking for referrals, right? Maybe creating some next steps, sharing that group that you have coming up, a workshop or something with your client, moving them into something new, right? Or going back to old clients that you've worked with already, inviting them to something new. Multiply your impact with less time. Good. Take a deep breath into that. And let it out. Good, good, good. All right, we're going to cover the last one in this process, this activation of all of these wonderful hacks that can come alive for you. Number 7, coaching from the inside out. It is a way of being. Well, we're doing it right now. We're learning to be all of these different 7 hacks, all of these different 7 points of operating a coaching business successfully. You're relaxing. You're doing this work within. You're letting yourself absorb, soften, expand, de-stress, releasing conflict and worry and concern, developing a sense of trust, love, and compassion within yourself and for yourself. Can you allow yourself to be lovable in this moment simply because you say so? Can you allow divine love to fill you, to be in you, to guide you and to direct you? Can you trust a little more in this higher power and intelligence, that there is this divine design to your life that will take you to your next place? What if you didn't have to struggle your way forward, but you could receive direction and clear guidance all along the way? Extra support, comfort, and power as you move through and run into different challenges or difficulties. What if there is something present, some beingness that fills you to overflowing? Can you allow that to be felt? Can you experience it? Take a deep breath into it, nose in and mouth out. Relax. Nose in, mouth out, nose in, mouth out, nose in and hold. Big breath in and hold this breath at the top. Good. Hold that breath in. Relax your body deeply. Surrender. Swallow your saliva. Make your lips into a pinhole. Slowly exhale. And just let all that air out. Allow yourself to breathe it all out. Just be and enjoy. Relax. Good. So you now have 7 powerful hacks to build momentum, to get clients, to deliver higher value coaching that will not cause you to burn out or get lost in the noise. And the last point, the last hack that we covered, being, right? It's a way of being. Preventing burnout starts by relaxing and surrendering every day to the beingness within, right? Yield yourself to that higher power within you. It's going to fuel you going forward. All right. Now the question is, how do you specifically apply all of this to your business? Well, hopefully you took some notes. How do you apply it to your message? There's some ways. How about your niche? What is your next step? Well, I gave you a lot here. I would review this video, go deeper. if that's what you want to do. It's exactly why I put this together, is so that you would have real tangible value to get more clarity. It will empower your next steps for sure. Just this video alone. If you want to go deeper, if you want more, I created the Invincible Offer and Influence system, and it's extremely powerful, and it will take you through all of these steps and a bunch more with AI prompts. It is super powerful. Here's a sample of what it's looking like. These are all the different parts of it. There's actually 14 in total, and they're all different worksheets, but the AI prompted version, I've been using these for years, but the AI prompted version is super powerful, like super powerful. It's going to give you the ability to really just enter in some data, like I said, and then get all that clarity that you need that you haven't been able to get before. All right. It's going to help you develop your offer. It's going to help you understand the problems and pain points of the people that you're serving, your promotional channels, develop lead magnets, create your own signature solution. Like, it's going to power you up like nothing else. You will be super clear, and you're going to be able to take your coaching business light years ahead of where it was, especially if you're new. But even if you're seasoned, this will help you go to another level. These are timeless. I've been using them for years. I always use them in my own business when I'm going forward. So it's available if you're interested. And you know what? There's a link in the description. And I'll drop it in the comments too if you want to check that out. And there's a link in the description. Just go there. You'll learn a little bit more about it. And there's plenty of opportunity inside of that. It's super affordable. It's 80% off the regular price. Like, you can't beat this. Small investment for a great amount of time, right? No obligation. But if you want to go deeper, I want to provide resources. And I made a super 80% discounted price for this promo, this training, for people to have that. Okay. I don't want to leave you hanging with just, no forward direction. Okay. But feel free. If you're ready to go even deeper and you want to work directly with me and my team and my other coaches, then you can do that as well. The description has a link. It's invincibleelite.com, and invincibleelite.com is where you're going to find out how to work with us in a very structured setting, have support from me and from others. It's really powerful. It's really beautiful. And it's also super affordable. I've made it so easy to get in. You can begin earning money right away. I provide you all the systems that you need: booking calendars, sales pages, registration pages. It's all done. It's already set up. You have very little setup to do. You get the Invincible Offer and Influence worksheets as part of that as well. And plus my coaching and guidance, plus team support. Doing coaching alone can be difficult, so that's available. No obligation, no pressure from me. I just want to make sure that you have an opportunity to come and join something that may serve you and take you next level. If you love what I'm sharing here, you'd love what's all in there. So if you've got any questions about any of this training tonight, like I said, drop them in the comments. I'll be happy to reply as soon as I get some time to get to those. I will do that. And would love to know what your biggest takeaway from today's session is. If you'd be kind enough to share that with me. What did you benefit from? What did you like? What did you dislike, if anything? I don't mind. I need constructive feedback. Correction is the fastest way, accelerated way to get to the results that I want to get. So if there's anything that you want to adjust, I've got my own corrections. I'm super critical of things myself. One of my slides didn't work. I had one of my slides on when it shouldn't have been, and it's okay. Nobody's perfect yet. We'll be perfect probably when we die, right? That's when we become the full glory of everything. But in life, there's things to work out, and it's okay. And I want you to feel okay with that, especially as a new coach. You don't have to be perfect. It doesn't work to try and be perfect. It works for you to be what you are, to make practical, strategic steps forward, right? Day by day, asking for help from the people that you're going to be serving you, and ask them about what they need. Don't be afraid to be humble. In fact, it's what works. It's totally going to be a blessing for you. It's going to take away the imposter syndrome. You become a researcher, someone who's deeply interested in people and the market. You want to know what's going on out there, and, asking those questions, connecting, building relationships, not having to know it all, not having to be an expert. It's going to move you forward. It's one of the hardest things to do, but to slim down into this simple, inquisitive space. It's I'm just so curious. I want to learn everything about everybody. And that's going to connect you more. It's going to fill you up with what you need to know to present powerfully in language to get clients in the door. So in closing, I want to say that the only thing between where you are right now and where you want to be is really structure, strategy, and a way of being. The way of being, fundamental. So much easier to do this work, to live out coaching when the core of you is relaxed, open, divinely attuned, and really ready. It's going to make a huge difference. All right. So I appreciate you being here, watching this training. Like I said, drop some comments, check out the description for all the different possibilities here. You can register for notifications for my upcoming live stream trainings. There's bonuses in there. There's so much value I'm giving away. Go get the free stuff. If you want to invest a little bit of money and get the Invincible Offer and Influence worksheets and training, that's going to take you light years ahead. I promise you, there's just so much value. You will thank me for it. You cannot lose. Check it out. I appreciate you. Bless you. And I will see you in the next training.